All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to another MLB The Show 24 stream here on Twitch. I'm NextJGGen24, and today we're picking a new team for this March to October. Yes, we finished up the Milwaukee Brewers. The playoffs took a lot longer than the first or the second half seasons did, but you know what? It was all worth it. We got it done, so that's all I care about. But now it's time to pick a different team. So I literally did not think about this team, or I did not think about who I was going to choose until probably 10 minutes ago. No, not a joke. No, that's not the reason I was late. No. Or a few minutes late. No. Actually, I should have just said like 15 to 20 minutes ago. Either way, it was only a short while ago that I actually decided on this team because I was thinking about it and I was like, you know, I really want to do the East. I really want to do the East, but I don't want to do the Yankees or Orioles because obviously they made the playoffs this year and they're favorites anyway, so it's not like I really want to, you know, go ahead with those guys. And I don't know why they put the Boston Red Sox in long shots. I don't consider. I mean, yeah, the roster as is not really that great, but it's not like it's terrible. There's potential. There's potential. Either way, we're going to save the Boston Red Sox for another time because they are definitely on my list. They're definitely on my list of teams to try out. So that only leaves two teams. The Tampa Bay Rays and the Toronto Blue Jays. Straight up, you guys see the title already. I think I could stop beating around the bush. It's the Toronto Blue Jays. I thought about it and I was like, this Blue Jays, they have a couple solid pieces. Obviously, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., obviously, Bo Bichette. Alejandro Kirk is a decent hitting catcher that you can use. The real problem with this team is their pitching. They have no pitching. So that is definitely something that as I build this team, that's something I'm going to build around. If I were to go with the Tampa Bay Rays, all I would have to build around is Randy Arozarena. Oh, and Shane McClanahan. At least I would have him in there. But that's really the only two that I can name for now. So let's go ahead and select the Toronto Blue Jays and hear what the announcers have to say about where the Blue Jays stand. Obviously, the Blue Jays did not make the playoffs this year. And, I just want to give Vladimir Guerrero Jr. a World Series run. Because who knows if he's going to get one after he signs with a new team. I don't think he's going to re-sign with the Toronto Blue Jays. I think he is going to a new team. I just don't know what that new team is. It might be the Mets. Who's to say? I mean, there's definitely interest in drawing from the Mets, but for right now, there are other options too. I mean, what's keeping Los Angeles from getting Vladimir Guerrero Jr.? What about the Yankees? I think the Yankees have expressed interest in Vladdy G Jr. But either way, we're not worried about that right now because we got to get into this March to October. So let's hear what they have to say.
What the heck is happening here? Long regarded as baseball's most competitive division, top to bottom, the American League East has far more questions than answers entering 2024. Did the Orioles really win 101 games and a division title? Okay, that one we know the answer to, but far more intriguing is how the upstart O's handle success. If they can play with the same confidence and swagger as a year ago, is a repeat run to the top spot within reach? The Rays seemed unstoppable after starting 13-0 in 2023. But 13 ultimately proved unlucky as injuries and the white-hot Rangers contributed to an earlier-than-expected end to the season. Can the Rays continue to defy the odds and make a 6th straight trip to the postseason? After 2 straight wildcard bids, the Blue Jays feel like a team about to break out of neutral. But in which direction? Do they take the next step and challenge for a division title and a deep October run? Or do they fall back to the pack and rue recently missed opportunities? The Yankees narrowly avoided their first losing season since 1992, but finished 4th in the division and were never a factor. With the addition of 3-time All-Star Juan Soto, can the Bronx Bombers find the right combo of youth and experience and regain their place of prominence in the division? For the 3rd time in 4 years and 6th in the last 12, the Red Sox finished at the bottom of the division. 2 World Series titles in that span have lessened the sting considerably, but can they catch lightning in a bottle and make a worst-to-first run in 2024?
Yeah, I thought that was interesting how the way that they presented the Yankees. It just especially when you consider the fact that they went to the World Series. It just, to me, it kind of seems like they were selling the Yankees short. So, but it's always fun to hear what they have to say, how they present each team. So, first things first, we got to get through opening day against the Tampa Bay Rays. Yes, all this little blah, blah, blah. You'll begin mid to late innings. You'll take control on top of the 6th. Good luck. Thanks. And we're already down 2-0, so we're already off to a good start. It's not going to be difficult to come out of this. It's just definitely going to make me work harder for this. First things first, we got to get... I think one of the things we got to do is get rid of Kevin Kiermaier. Yes, he has speed. Yes, he has fielding. But my God, is he an awful batter. I don't even know how I managed to get that base hit with him. But, hey. I guess I got it. So. And for my leadoff guy, not exactly what I want. Not to mention, I think he's older, so I know he's going to be regressing. If he hasn't already regressed. Either way, Operation Get Vladdy Jr., a World Series title, is underway. Not off to a great start. We are definitely going to have to improve this pitching. I mean, Kevin Gausman is our best pitcher. Not exactly a great, just say that right.
I got a ball, 1 strike.
By the way, for anyone who is wondering, if I'm going to continue doing these in MLB The Show 25, probably not in the immediate future. I think a lot more, I'm going to be focusing a lot more on Diamond Dynasty. This is just kind of filler until MLB The Show 25 comes out. So, probably going to have the same mentality in terms of MLB The Show 25, March to October. With the addition of, I'm probably going to be grinding it a lot more, considering it really helps in terms of the team affinity cards.
Hey! All ones the count.
Ah, darn it. I should have dove for that, but I don't think even if I dove for it, I probably wouldn't have gotten out. So we'll take a look at the roster. We'll see where it is that we need to improve, and then we'll go from there. Strike 3, sit down, but just immediate off the bat, right off the bat, starting pitching and our center field needs some upgrades. Probably our entire outfield needs an upgrade, if I'm being honest. But I don't think we're touching Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and I don't think we're touching Bobuchet. Those are like the untouchables for right now.
1-0.
Gonna have to figure something out with Justin Turner too, because I really don't want to keep him on here, or I don't want to keep him in a starting role. I should be clear. Like, clearly, Turner is much better against lefties. But that's really all his value is. Oh yeah, something that I probably didn't mention yesterday, and I'm shocked that I didn't mention it. Or no, actually, because it happened. I saw the news break today. I saw that John Heyman, I think it was John Heyman, was saying that the Mets and Pete Alonso's camp are back in contract talks. And I just want to say, Steve Cohen, you are a genius. I mean, how many baseball owners do you guys know that could go up to not go up to Scott Boras, but basically go out in publicly talk about a contract negotiation and say that it is absolutely brutal, and really put pressure on one of the top agents in all of baseball to get a deal done. I mean, Steve Cohen, even some of my Yankee friends are saying, wow, Steve Cohen got some cojones. And I say absolutely. And I love it. I love that Steve Cohen, he makes it clear that he wants to spend to get some of the best players in the game. I love that. But I also love the fact that he is not going to spend money like he's printing it just because. If anything, I think he learned his lesson from, I want to say, 2022, where he spent to get a lot of guys onto the team, like Verlander, Scherzer, and it just didn't work out. And I'm proud of him for learning that lesson and seeing that just isn't the way sometimes. Strike 3, sit down. So I think he learned his lesson, and he looked at Scott Boras and said, you know what, you're being completely unreasonable. You're demanding this, you're demanding that, and, I don't have to sit here as the owner and just take this. You want to go out there and you want to throw out these so-called deals that your client has with the Toronto Blue Jays or the Los Angeles Angels? Well, I'm going to go out there and call you out on it. And you know what? Scott Boras is learning that he's not going to be able to push around Steve Cohen. And I say good for Steve Cohen. It's important. It's crucial to the game of baseball that Scott Boras learned that he cannot just push around any owner he wants. Okay? Steve Cohen was willing to do anything to get Juan Soto, and I think a lot of people understood that was going to happen. But Steve Cohen wasn't going to be pushed around just to retain Pete Alonso. There is a big difference between Juan Soto and Pete Alonso. I am sorry. I love Pete Alonso, homegrown talent. You know, I would like him to retire as a Met. I want him to be able to go into the Hall of Fame. I want him to have his number up there in the rafters with Seaver, with Piazza, with Wright. I want all of that to happen. But not if it's going to come at the cost of the Mets picking up other pieces that they need to pick up. Such as the fact that they just re-signed Ryan Stanek to be part of their bullpen. I mean, you guys, it may not seem like a big deal, but getting Ryan Stanek back was so key for the Mets. I mean, he was crucial for the Mets in that postseason run. He really was. Not saying that that's a show of what Edwin Diaz, or that's to knock Edwin Diaz down a couple pegs. Like, no. Edwin Diaz is still a top reliever, but Ryan Stanek came in there, and he was huge for the Mets in that postseason run. Strike three, sit down. He was huge. So getting him back was very crucial. And I think it's going to help the Mets this season when they try to make another run. You never know what can happen with baseball. You never know. All I can say is it's great, and I love to watch it. Especially my Mets. I mean, Gosman is not really tired, so to speak. But still, I don't want to take any chances with him, and I don't have to, because Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is going to come through, baby. Chef's kiss on that one. Mwah. Beautiful. All right, now we got to change things. First of all, we're sitting Mesa, and we're warming up Romano. Bullpen looks like it could use some help, too. Not too much. I mean, it's 70 overalls, that's better than what I've had to deal with before in other March to October, so... It really amazes me that they decided to still throw out a lefty. Even though that this is a very righty-heavy lineup. Like, look at this. The only lefties in here are Kiermaier, Varsho, and Biggio. Like, that's it. Is Springer going to add on? He will. Beautiful. I love it whenever I can add on and give my bullpen even more of a cushion. So if we score another run here, then I'll bring in Swanson for the 9th, but if we don't, then I'll bring in Romano. And just to wrap up what I was saying about the Alonso and the Mets back in contract talks, I think this is a good sign that Pete Alonso is going to come back to the Mets. You know, I never really bought these arguments that he was going to go to Los Angeles or he was going to go to Toronto. I mean, Toronto, maybe I was looking at it and I thought, okay, maybe they want like a backup in case they don't re-sign Guerrero Jr. But when I heard it was at the 10-yard line and then I heard nothing for days, that's where I was like, okay, this is bullshit. Los Angeles, I never thought that was a thing. Like, come on. Los Angeles is not going to be competitive. And I'm talking about the Angels here, not the Dodgers. Obviously not the Dodgers. But the Angels were never going to be competitive. Strike 3, sit down. They know that. The owner knows it. I think the fans know it. And I think Pete Alonso knew that. But I think Scott Boras told him to go out and meet with teams and try to get them to give them as much money as possible so that they could put pressure on the Mets. But it didn't work. It didn't work because Cohen saw right through it. And he's like, that's the best you're going to do? You're going to tell me that you're going to go to the Angels or you're going to go to the Blue Jays? Like, okay, have fun. Otherwise, you can take our offer. It's not going to be top market value, but at least you'll be on a competitive team.
2 strikes.
So, that's all I'll say. I really do think that Pete Alonso, with the way that things are working out right now, I think Pete Alonso is poised to return to the Mets. Whether it's a 3-year deal, maybe it's a 1-year deal, I don't know. But what I do know is the Mets just blew out Alonso's hopes at a big contract. I mean, look, he could have signed the contract that he was offered last offseason. He could have signed it, but he decided not to, or his agent decided not to, and then he hired Scott Boras and took a chance on himself, and it didn't pay off. And the Mets called him out on it. Sorry. It's not like Juan Soto, who had an MVP caliber year. Okay? Who absolutely justified his contract, albeit very expensive, but you're not going to find a talent quite like Juan Soto. I don't believe. So his contract was justified. Pete Alonso's demands, So I'm glad that the Mets called him out on it, and it sounds like it's working out in their favor. I think MLB teams are going to look at They're going to look at that and say, you know what? If the Mets can do that, why can't we? Oh, God, Daniel Vogelback. Oh, jeez. Nah, not 40 speed. That's not going to look good. I got underneath it way too much. Right idea. I had the right idea. It's just I obviously moved the PCI way too much. That was a strike? Come on now.
1-2.
That's good. Just when it seems like I have the best opportunity to take the lead, I blow. I'm not stressing about it too much, considering that we're not behind. Like, that's the bright side. We're not behind in this game. Strike 3, sit down. Still, that doesn't mean we can't lose. We absolutely still can. But at least we're not working from behind. That's what my point is. Once again, I find myself working with Kevin Gauss.
Ball outside. Full count.
Beautiful. I also think that the Jordan Montgomery contract it's definitely going to serve as a reminder to players if they decide to hold out for the best possible deal. It's like, okay, you could get a deal, but you know, you might end up being bad for it, and that's what happened with Montgomery. Now I'm actually hearing that the D-backs are shopping Zach Gallen. And I, for one, am actually in favor of the Mets getting Zach Gallen. He's from New Jersey, so very close to where he played. Not to mention he was quite the ace for the Mets, or for the Diamondbacks. And he has been an ace for them for a long time. I don't know why they would shop him, considering they just got Corbin Burns. Like, don't you want to see if you could do something with Burns and Gallen? Not to mention Eduard Rodriguez. I hope I'm saying that right. Hold on. When in doubt, Baseball Reference. And what's even sadder is I should probably know the name of that guy. Eduardo. I think it's Eduardo. Sorry, I was thinking of, let's see, pronunciations. Usually they have a pronunciation here. No, I guess it's pronounced exactly as it's spelled. Eduardo Rodriguez. Okay. Well, then ignore me.
Ball.
It's just these Hispanic names. I don't mean to like butcher anyone's names. I don't mean to be disrespectful. You know, I'm just, but at the very least, I'm going to make an effort to make sure that I have the names right. Like, Yoel Payamps, how I was saying Joel Payamps. And obviously that was wrong, so, I'm going to make sure that I at least say it correctly. It's fine. I don't mind not advancing on that one. I didn't want to... I didn't want to risk it and get the second out. Something that I learned from MLB 2K10, I didn't even know this, but just listening to the commentators, like, I didn't even know this was a unwritten rule in baseball, but apparently you never want to make the second or third out at third base when you're trying to run to third. So I always bear that in mind whenever I'm playing. If it seems iffy and I'm trying to go to third, I don't even try it. Strike 3, sit out. Gausman doesn't have as many strikeouts as he did on opening day. Opening day, he had like 19. Today, he's only got 6, so quite a difference for Gausman.
Out. Two. 0-2.
It's all good.
Ball. No. 1 ball, no strike. That's a strike. 1-1.
I can't believe they gave Bo Bichette, like, bronze defense. I think he should at least have a silver. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and warm up Romano. Who's that Mike White guy? Or, I'm sorry, Mitch White. Well, clearly he's one of the long relievers for the Blue Jays. In fact, he's the only long reliever for them. Okay. Alright. Gotta know what I'm working with here. I didn't really go over the roster like I said I would. I should have.
He's out.
Sorry, I just realized that they gave Daniel Vogelbach 2 speed. Oh my god. Oh, that's crazy. 2 speed. Oh my god, that's great.
Ball 1.
Whoa.
1 ball,
What the heck?
1 strike. He's out.
Alright, let's get Romano in here. I would like to give Gausman the complete game shutout, but I only do that if we're not in a safe situation. But we are in a safe situation, so I think it's better for me to keep rolling with, or for me to roll with Romano.
Ahoy. 0-1.
What up, Mets? How are ya?
No ball, 2 strikes.
Did you see we re-signed Yep, new March to October. Strike 3, sit down. And it's the team that that Pete Alonso supposedly had a contract from, but you know they're not. Ooh, what a snag by Guerrero Jr. Dang. But apparently they couldn't get it across the goal line. Not 90% of the way there. They were 90% the way there. And then at the last minute, strike 3, sit down. If he goes there, you think absolutely. I think that's pretty much a sign right there that the Blue Jays don't have any confidence that they're going to re-sign Vladimir Guerrero Jr. So I absolutely think that Steve Cohen bides some time for this year and then goes out and aggressively pursues Vladimir Guerrero Jr. However, if we do get Pete Alonso, then I think we're pretty much out on we're pretty much out on Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Oh, finally, we're finally in Toronto. Seemed like they had a long stretch there where they didn't have any home games. Dang, look at the start the Orioles are off to. Holy hell. Anyway, let's take a look at the lineup real quick, see what we're working with. So, yeah, Kevin Kiermaier, he's 33. I mean, he's already starting to regress in some areas, but it's not exactly terrible. So, we definitely need a DH, a better lefty hitter. You're about to play ranked for the first time in a while. Dude, I haven't even touched ranked, and I don't think I'm going to touch ranked. I'm 45 and 85. At least he's committed. You know, you got to give him a lot of credit. He's committed. But we got to get rid of Daniel Vogelbach. Got to get rid of him. Biggio, I think we get rid of him too. We upgrade there. I mean, Schneider only hits left righty, so as far as the pitching rotation goes, Chris Bassett, I forgot he was here, but he is regressing. Bassett is regressing. Kikuchi, Barrios. I again, I kind of forgot about Barrios. You know what? Maybe this rotation is not as bad as I thought it was. Maybe Bassett, if he goes down any further, maybe. Okay, we definitely need to get someone better than Bowden Francis. Jays are very forgettable. Well, what can I say? That's why I want to do them, because or why I want to do a March to October with them, because they're a team that has a forgettable roster and with a few improvements can make a very serious run through the playoffs. That's what drew me in to them. So, all right. So what we need to do is we need a left-handed batter. Definitely need that. Players to shop. Or first, let me go with untouchables, which are going to be Bo Bichette and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Gosman, we'll see how he does in the beginning of the year. I mean, we're going to need another third baseman, so. Because Justin Turner cannot play third base, so we'll add him too. Don't forget, Orelvis Martinez is down in the minors. And if he gets a fast track, there's no reason I can't bring him up. Addison Barger. I mean, a good fielder and a decent runner, but that's about it. Not really anyone spectacular. Left field. I mean, we're kind of working with Davis Schneider. I think I can work with that. Center field, we're probably going to need a upgrade there. So I'll put down center fielder as well. Is Springer retire or regressing? No. What's his contract like? Ooh. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, that's bad. That is bad. 25 million for a guy a year up until 3 years down the road where he's going to be 37. Whew. Man, that's tough. I kind of like this lefty reliever we have here. I mean, that could he could easily overpower uh Bowden Francis. Bowden Francis. I'm gonna have to learn that name, but you know, Tiedman or Tiedemann. I'll have to look that up, but I do like his potential, and I like that he's a lefty, someone that could follow behind Kikuchi. So if he gets a chance to be called up, I don't see why I shouldn't call him up. All right. So next up, we got the Seattle Mariners. We're trying to win the series. We're in the top of the ninth. They got runners on third and first. But Mets, did you see that we did get Stanek? We re-signed Stanek. That's a good pickup. He was so crucial for the Mets in that postseason run. So very good signing on their part. Now they just got to get Jose Iglesias back. I mean, really, this is a team that, you know, adding Juan Soto makes them even more competitive than they were. That makes sense. Like, and they came out of nowhere. Like, let's be clear about that. They came out of nowhere last year, and now they're and then they ended up in the NLCS. I know you say that you saw it coming, but I think a lot of Met fans didn't think that would happen. I certainly didn't expect it. I was like, if they have a decent record, I'll be happy with that. And then it became well, even still, you had to believe it in order to say it. Like what? You just said it just to say it? Well, I mean, if you don't know too much about football, then, like, fine, I guess I can understand that. Yeah, we already did this. Ooh, and we're taking on the Yankees. Oh, but first we got a player lock. So wait, if you knew football, why did you say that the Giants were winning the Super Bowl? That doesn't make any sense to me. 2026. So you believe that
Ball.
they get the you think they get a QB this year? Who is it? Sanders? No, Sanders is the one that's the corner and the wide receiver, right?
Nope, back upstairs. Ball four.
Ah, darn it. I thought I had a lot more speed with Schneider. I must have been thinking to his Tops Now card that highlighted his performance in that one game. I think that one had. You want Abdul Carter out of Penn State? He's very good. Speaking as a Penn State fan, he's one of the top defensive linemen. He's one of, I think Mel Kiper actually has him, or not Mel Kiper. He's like one of the top defensive guys or one of the top defensive prospects in the draft this year. Okay, I may be nuts, but I'm going to try it again. Why not? Speaking as a Penn State fan, I don't think they have or they don't go far in the playoffs without Abdul Carter. That's just my opinion. I don't know about that. Because Micah Parsons uses his speed to be able to get off the edge. With Abdul Carter, like his speed and his size makes it deceptive. Plus, he can really use his finesse moves to be able to get around the defender. So, if I had to compare him to anyone, or in terms of potential, I think he has the potential to be on the level of Reggie White. I think that's a good comparison for him. All right, 5-0, and we got 3 good hits. We got the +3 boost. Yeah, I definitely see that. I would say that my Jets would take him, but I don't think they really need him. What they need is more offense, or I don't want them to take a quarterback in this draft. I think this is a weak quarterback class. Just my opinion, but I think it's pretty weak. You don't think he's going to fall that low? Yeah, I agree. I don't think he would fall to the. He's got to get picked up before the Jets. Before they get to the Jets. Yeah, whatever. It is what it is.
Ball. Ball one, no play.
Wow, really? Strike 3, sit down.
Ball one's the count. Ball one. Ball inside. Hey! 2-2 the count.
Pete Alonso guy's 200th career home run. Good for him. Hold on.
I got 3 and 2.
Really?
That's
Ball
four.
You like Milrow just because we have a battle line and he runs a lot to escape the pressure. Milrow? I'm trying to think who that is. Oh no! Oh, Alabama. Oh no, I can't believe that. Wow, I just got walked off by the Padres. Brutal. Yeah. Disaster. Oh, jeez. Hey, Dodger. Unfortunately, you caught me at a bad time. And unfortunately, that's going to put me back quite a bit. Oh, God. We're going to get on a bad, bad run here. Oh, boy. Yeah. That might be our only way right now. We need to put an end to this losing streak. Oh, jeez, Louise. Thank God we got off to a good start. You're going on to events right now? Do they have a new one, or is it the same one? The National League hitters and American League pitchers.
That's the ball.
Same one. I'll pass. I'll keep passing until they put in common pitchers. Thank you, Springer. No, there aren't going to be any more rewards. We're at the end of the year. That's it. That's it. They're not adding any more cards.
Now pitching for the Orioles, number 35, Brett.
It's only going to be... I know, but at least a different pack that we already have instead of that. Well, what are you talking about? What packs would you like to see in the events? Anything else? The thing is that all the The only ones that I could see them putting in are like the draft pick ones. The ones that are pretty much time sensitive. But those, I think...
0-1.
Oh, thank God. New event. Guess it does help with collections, though. It does. It certainly does. Albeit, if you got all the collections done, then there's really no need. The only purpose of it at that point is just, parallel XP. That's it. Strike 3, sit out.
Ball. Ball. No, that missed. That's the ball.
You know, they didn't even advertise that there was going to be a new event on Friday. They didn't even advertise it. So I know it's not the forever event. That's what I know for sure. Because they would advertise that. Honestly, in my opinion, they should just do the forever event as soon as the year is over. Like once they've released all the cards for events, that's when they should do the forever event. Not these stupid specific or these stupid themed events. It was. I enjoyed it. I really did. And you know me, I barely did events this year because there were no Mets cards to grab. So to me, there was no point.
Leading up for the Royals, the third baseman, Mike Garrett.
But at least Holiday Slugfest was fun. And I mean, at this point of the year, the only reason to play Diamond Dynasty is to get your players paralleled XP or super factored. That's it. There's no other programs to grind. They already dropped all the Captain Blizzard programs, which were, you know, they were fine, but they only lasted for about an hour and a half. You could get it all done fairly quickly. Honestly, I felt like that's how the entire... that's how I felt all the programs were. Yeah, that's true. That's coming out next Tuesday. But aside from that, there's usually nothing. And since they took out the core cards, or the core set collection, I think they did it last year or 2 years ago. But once they took that out, there was really no reason to grind the U.S. of baseball map.
No, that's out.
In fact, I haven't even touched that map this year. And that's probably the first time in years that I haven't even touched that map. All right, can I trust Jordan Romano to to get the save. I certainly hope so. Actually, maybe I don't even have to bother with it. If I get one more run, then why bother? Well, I gotta say, that was probably the longest that I've ever seen someone try to get the ball in. Or get the ball into the infield.
Now back. Catcher. Alejandro.
That got him.
The center fielder, number 7.
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at this this video of the behind the scenes look at the MLB The Show 25 cover shoot that they did, and they focused on Gunnar Henderson, and apparently to celebrate, he decided to eat a SpongeBob SquarePants popsicle.
David Schneider.
Like, you guys remember that from the ice cream truck? Oh, that was so my favorite. I wanted that every time the ice cream truck was there. At the park or riding around the city, I always wanted the SpongeBob SquarePants popsicles. You couldn't really get them in stores, as far as I know. There we go. We're really putting the beat down on the Royals here. Anyway, I just thought it was funny. Yeah, we'll warm up Yimi again, since he's the lowest rated pitcher that is at full stamina. I certainly don't want to use Romano, not for this kind of situation. Attaboy, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. This is how you break out of a losing streak. You put the beat down on your opponent. Plus, this gives me more time for Yimi to get ready.
1-2.
I mean, not that, like, Bowden, not that I don't believe in Bowden, but he's in the yellow and I don't want to risk it. Oh, that ground rule double is all that saved the runner from scoring on at first.
That's the ball. That's inside.
Pitching up for the Royals, the catcher, Salvador.
So let's bring in. Hold on. I'll double make sure. I figured, but I just wanted to make sure.
Now pitching for the Blue Jays, number 93, Jimmy Garcia.
All right, you have a lot of you have a big lead to work with. So most beloved Mets of all time.
1 and 2.
Number 1, Tom Seaver. That makes sense. Yeah, it's Seaver, homegrown.
That's the ball.
The Mets' first star. Pretty much the reason that this franchise even exists today. No, I'm kidding. But next is Doc Gooden. Look, I know he was another homegrown talent, but I would not have put Doc above Mike Piazza. I don't know if I would have put David Wright over Mike Piazza either. Wow, I am like shocked. Piazza not even top 3? Put him at number 4. So this guy, this Greg guy from MLB Network, he's gonna put David Wright and Doc Gooden over Mike Piazza. Wow. Let's see if he even top 5 didn't even include Jacob deGrom. 5th was Darryl Strawberry. Number 6 is Gary Carter. Like, the thing is, he's putting the right guys in there. So he's got the right guys. It's just he's putting them in the wrong order. That's what my issue is. He's got Keith Hernandez at number 7. Ron Darling at number 8. Gary, Keith, and Ron. I mean, I kind of feel like Jacob deGrom is a little bit more celebrated than like Ron is obviously beloved because he was a solid pitcher and he's the commentator for the Mets. Pete Alonso, okay, that makes sense. That's it. So no Jacob deGrom at all. No Jose Reyes. No Carlos Beltran. I mean, Trent Grisham would be an upgrade over Kiermaier, and Kiermaier we could. Yeah, Lindor. Yeah, absolutely. No Lindor. You're talking about a guy who has been the closest to winning the MVP since Carlos Beltran, and he's not top 10? Are you kidding me? What about Johan Santana? Threw the first no-hitter in Mets history. You're telling me he wasn't beloved? Honestly, the only trade right now that is even worth entertaining is Trent Grisham, because I need that lefty bat, but I don't think I'll take any of these. I don't have a problem with the people that he put in there. I just have a problem in the way that they're ordered. And I also have a problem with some of the guys that he left out, like DeGrom, like Lindor. Like Santana. Maybe I should not screw around with Bobby Witt Jr. here. Strike 3, sit down. No. That's very surprising to me. That was order of some of the guys, and also, huh? I mean, don't get me wrong, Leiter. What about Edgardo Alfonso? How about him? I don't know about you, but I've known a lot of people to love Edgardo. How about Andy Chavez?
That's the ball. One ball, no strike.
R.A. Dickey, I mean, albeit his most memorable year was 2012, but I know a lot of Met fans who like R.A. Heck, I even have his biography in my closet. And honestly, that's probably the first time that I've ever gotten a book for Christmas, and I actually enjoyed it as a gift. As crazy as that sounds, I really enjoyed reading that book. That may have been one of the most underrated Christmas presents I've ever gotten. You kidding me? Isaiah Kiner for Leffa. Listen, I can't keep screwing around, especially with a guy that has yellow stamina. So I should have brought somebody in at the start of the inning, but maybe I can get something more out of Barrios. It's my coworker. Alright, he wants me to take a different position than what I was told I would be covering tonight. I'm not really too thrilled about that. Strike 3, sit down.
No.
If that's where he prefers me, then I guess that's where I gotta be. Attaboy Springer. It's the foghorn. At least we got one of the runs back.
Number 66.
See, I figured that we would be back in this. I didn't think it was over just because we failed at driving in a run in the bottom of the sixth. I wasn't worried about that.
He's out.
Oh my gosh. We get a runner in scoring position at second, and yet nobody can drive him in? Are you kidding me? Let's get him out. Get him out and bring in Swanson.
Number 50.
No ball. One strike. No. Oh, one. Oh.
Strike 3, sit down. As long as we don't have to go up against Bobby Witt Jr.
0-1.
We go up against him, we kind of have a problem.
One ball. One strike. One ball. Two strikes.
Strike 3, sit down.
Now pitching for the Bulls. Number 46.
Right.
John Slider.
Imagine if Daniel Vogelback is the one that saves us here, gets the home run to tie the game. That's about all he would be able to do. Yeah, but I didn't think that was going to happen. There's a reason we're at the bottom of the lineup. Or there's a reason why he's at the bottom of the lineup.
He's out.
And Ernie Clement. Probably better that was a foul ball. Because if that got caught, we'd be in trouble. Besides, at least we got the base hit there. We still have a shot. Hold on, I was just replying to my coworker. And you know what? I think in this situation I'm gonna go with Kevin Kiermaier. He doesn't have as high of a clutch rating, but I get the lefty-righty matchup. And that's what I prefer. Didn't work out. Darn it! That sucks. At least it's only one. If it were like 4 or 5, we'd be screwed. At least it was only the one. So all that I'll just do is flip it to cold. That's fine. We can always flip it again. Oh, man.
Nope, that's a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball.
What?
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Come on, that was a strike.
I got 3 and 2.
I'm going to shake him off. We're going fastball. Just straight up fastballs. Strike 3, sit down. Nice. Again, that's probably only going to flip it back. Flip it back to, fire, but hey, at least the momentum is back on our side. And at least we split the series against the Phillies, and now we have a chance to sweep the Twins, which that would be nice.
Batting second, the second baseman, Edward Julian.
Oh! 1-0.
Sorry, the MLB The Show tweet or post on X highlighted on my phone, and I was trying to see if it was anything noteworthy, and it's not. It's just more behind the scenes look at the photo shoot for MLB The Show 25. Really? You really did not trust George Springer's arm? Really?
Oh! 1 ball, no strike.
Yes, and in case you didn't notice the pink bat, that means it's Mother's Day. Hello, Quasi MS. How are you? Welcome into the stream. I appreciate you stopping by. Oh my gosh, you raided me. Oh, Quasi, thank you so much for the raid. Oh my gosh, dude. I did not realize that. Thank you. To anyone who is part of Quasi's raid, first of all, big shout out to Quasi. Thank you so much for the raid. How was your stream, man? How was it?
The first baseman, number 19.
And for anyone who... I'm Trells. I'm Trells. Nice to meet you. Hello. Welcome into my stream. For anyone that is wondering what's going on here, basically I'm running a March to October with the Toronto Blue Jays. So I'm trying to win a World Series with them, and pretty much buy time until MLB The Show 25 comes out. Or they do something interesting in Diamond Dynasty, because right now there's nothing interesting in there. Stream was good. BR put me through a blender, but was blessed with an awesome community. So I figured oh, well, I appreciate that, Quasi. You know what? Let me return the love. Let me go ahead and give you a follow here. Thank you. And anyone who is already part of my stream, please go show some love to Quasi. Make sure you follow him. MLB The Show streamer, love to hear it. So make sure you guys go follow him if you aren't already. I appreciate him rating me with 20 people. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So it's got off to a hot start. We were actually doing really well with the Toronto Blue Jays, but unfortunately I hit a bit of a snag when I went up against the San Diego Padres, because I gave up a game-winning 3-run homer in the bottom of the ninth, and that pretty much set me back. Gave me like 9 snowballs, and pretty much ruined my momentum. So I've been loving this mode ever since I first started watching it. I was watching some guy do the Chicago White Sox, and I just got back into it. And I like the Mets, like they're my favorite team, but I'm not running with them at the moment. Ooh, look at that. We get our first fast track. It's Adam Mako. Okay. I'm down for a fast track. Any way I can get momentum back on my side, I appreciate it. It is what it is, Quasi. I mean, unfortunately, I felt like the game was not being really fair to me in terms of the game missed some calls that should have been.
Leading up for the yard goats, the third baseman.
There should have been some calls that went my way that should have ended the game, and it didn't. So I guess Jordan Romano just couldn't handle it and gave up that game-winning shot. So, yep, I'm a Mets fan. I got my Mike Piazza cardboard cutout over there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this game sometimes, man, you just never know with it. But, yeah, I've got my Mike Piazza cardboard cutout. You're a Braves fan? Oh, you know what? I'd be very salty at the Braves if you guys had won both games. But you know what? Game 161, that has to be the game of the year for 2024. I don't think we'll ever see another game quite like that. At least both the Mets and the Braves made it to the playoffs. I mean, yeah, y'all got bounced by the San Diego Padres, but honestly, the Padres probably had the best shot at beating the Los Angeles Dodgers. I don't know if it had been the Padres, I don't know if they would have beaten the Padres in the NLCS. I mean, the Mets had some good momentum. They really did. Nice of a. So, it's funny because I had a viewer who's a Dodgers fan, so I don't understand what his beef was with that game. But he was coming in here accusing the Mets of the Braves of he was accusing the teams of like basically conspiring with each other to win one each game so that both of them would get in and then the Diamondbacks would be out there. And I'm like, I don't think that's how it works. I mean, the Braves and the Mets are divisional rivals. There's a hatred there. I don't think they would have conspired with each other just to win 1-1 so they could both be in. I mean, the Mets just lucked out with that first game. Second game, y'all dominated us, much like the first game. So he got very salty over that, which I think is funny because it's not like that was, even if that were true, it had no impact on the Dodgers. So it's like, other than the Dodgers and Mets ended up meeting in the NLCS. And it's like, what does it matter? The Dodgers were going to beat the Mets. I mean, I liked what I don't think it wasn't a D-backs fan, though. It was a Dodgers fan. Which raises the questions all the more. I really didn't understand it. And this was a guy that I was like really friendly with. Unfortunately, he hasn't been back here since. I guess because things got heated, and so he hasn't been back here since. It's unfortunate because I actually liked him. But people get salty over stupid things, and here we are, so but whatever. The Mets had a great playoff run. Yeah, and even bigger of a now, because your team won the World Series anyway. So what was the point of arguing over it? What was the point? Like, you were just gonna start trouble? Why? I don't understand. And I had nothing against the Dodgers. In fact, I was rooting for the Dodgers in the World Series because I just didn't want the Yankees to win it. Although now the Dodgers, with what they just did to get Blake Snell and Roki Sasaki, I don't know if I'll root for them again. I'll just say that. No, I totally agree. I mean, other than the fact that he was a Met killer, but then again, what Atlanta Brave is not a Met killer? Chipper Jones was a Met killer for such a long time. But I have a lot of respect for him. And I mean, he came up really clutch. Like, it was amazing to watch how clutch Freddie Freeman was in the World Series. Definitely deserved that World Series MVP, for sure. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree on that. Like, and I know I'm one to talk, considering that the Mets have deferred payments with Edwin Diaz. So I know that it's ironic coming from my mouth, but still, it's not like to get Ohtani that way. And Bobby Bonilla, yeah, but that's a bad example. That's a really bad example. That's not one that I celebrate. Oh no, I agree it still counts, but it's just not a good example. Not a good example of deferred payments actually paying off. Because the Mets really got nothing out of Bobby Bonilla. Not the second time around. The first time around, maybe, but the second time around, nothing but that awful, awful contract, so. I mean, I'll give the Braves a lot of credit. They get some of their best players on team-friendly deals. I wish the Mets would do that, but we keep giving player-friendly contracts. At least with us, Juan Soto's, no problem. At least Juan Soto's contract is not deferred. At least I don't think so. No, because it's like $51 million a year, and then it jumps up to $55 million after 5 years if he opts to stay in the contract. At least we didn't defer with Juan Soto. We straight up gave him the money. We're not deferring with him, so I think if the Mets can do that, the Dodgers certainly can. But I guess the only way it's going to eventually bite them in the butt is when that contract is over and they're paying Ohtani all the rest of that money and everything, and then they can't afford to get the best players. That's when it'll really come to fruition. But until then, Ohtani's contract clearly team oriented. So, but I doubt that the MLB ever looks at deferred contracts. I doubt they'll ever do that. Not unless it's something egregious. Can you imagine if the Mets had done that with Ohtani? Or done it with Soto? You think that Manfred would have been all over the Mets if that had happened? I just feel like that the Dodgers got some special treatment. And I feel like it should be in the best interests of baseball for all contracts to be treated the same. Now, if you want to front load and then not pay the player as much down the road, by all means, I have no issue with that. If you'd rather pay them more as their career goes or as the contract goes on, I have no issue with that either. I just have an issue with the way that Ohtani's deferred contract was structured. It was pretty sus. But yet MLB's not going to touch it, so that's just what we got to deal with. It's all good. It's all good. It's not like the Dodgers are going to win the World Series for the next 10 years. Although the way that they're building up teams, it may be a few years before we see a different World Series winner, assuming that no team is going to challenge the Dodgers. Because the Mets and Padres both won 2 games against the Dodgers in the playoffs. And it was the Padres who came the closest to eliminating the Dodgers. So, no problem. Welcome back. I was just talking about, how soon do we think that we're going to see another World Series winner despite instead of the Dodgers? And for me, I think it's going to be a few years with the way that they just signed Roki Sasaki, Blake Snell. They got Teoscar Hernandez back. I think it's going to be a few years before we see someone other than the Dodgers win the World Series. But it really all depends on just how good of a team's run is in the postseason. I mean, how many times did we think that the Dodgers had a great regular season and believed that they were going on to the World Series only for them to fall apart in the playoffs?
Leading up for the yard goes, the center fielder,
To me, playoffs are a total different ball game. No pun intended, but they really are it's a different season. It's a new season. You never know who's going to get hot in the playoffs at the right time. I mean, look at the Philadelphia Phillies in 2022. No, I'm willing to bet no one thought they would go on that run. I'm willing to bet that no one thought that was going to happen. I think that's what most people are hoping for, is that they choke. Exactly. They got hot at the right time. Yep, 2021. Even the Nationals in 2019. They got off to one of the worst starts in MLB history in 2019, and yet they ended up getting in the wild card, and they rode it all the way to the World Series. There are so many examples. So many examples. It's all about getting hot at the right time. Yeah, think of the Florida, and you can't forget about the Florida Marlins taking down the big bad Yankees in the 2003 World Series. Not to mention 1997? Yeah, I think it was 97. Strike 3, sit down. All right, thank God they took me out. And we take the win. Double-digit strikeouts. Only get a +1 or 1+. That's it. So they take I'm actually from North Jersey, but I live like 20 to 25 minutes away from New York City. So the reason that I'm a Mets fan, though, is because my dad and my sister were Met fans as well. So I just followed in their footsteps, and it's a nice way for us as a family to be able to connect and just really enjoy ourselves. Hey, can I send down that Mitch White guy? Because he's really not working out. Let's see. No, I can't. I wish I could, but all of his minor league options have been used. You're a lone warrior with being a Brave fan. Why? What's the rest of your what? The rest of your family is what? What fans are they? Or what team are they fans of? Oh, I see. Do you live in the Atlanta area or somewhere near the Atlanta area? Oh, Mississippi. Okay. Well, then it's not totally unreasonable to it's not totally unreasonable for you to be I did marry a diehard. Oh, okay. Okay. Diehard Cardinals fan. Hey, listen, I've got my own beef with the Cardinals over 2006. Although at this point, I'm kind of over it. But because most of the guys, all the guys, in fact, that were on that 2006 Cardinals team are pretty much retired.
Leading up for the Tigers, the left fielder.
Well, look, I mean, I do have a lot of respect for the Cardinals and their history. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, that 2006, that should have been the Mets year. And unfortunately, it just came down to Carlos Beltran looking at strike 3 right down the middle. But I'm not going to hold that against Carlos. Strike 3, sit out. Yeah, trading away Goldschmidt. I mean, unfortunately, it just didn't work out. Arenado and Goldschmidt. Makes you wonder what could have been. That was probably the best corner infielder duo set up on paper, and yet when executed in the field, it just didn't work out. So now they're just gonna rebuild. That's all. So I actually have no problem with it. Soto, that money, I mean, I have no issue with that. Nope. In fact, I it's so funny because I used to hate the Yankees for spending, but now I love the Mets and Steve Cohen for spending the money to get Soto. I guess I just don't have a problem with it. And in reality, like, team owners are the ones who decide if they want to spend or not. And clearly New York, LA, they all spend. Whereas a team like Pittsburgh, Oakland, they don't do that. And I don't understand why. The owners just want to penny pinch their way to a World Series. And it's like, not every single method could be like Moneyball. Believe me, I would love to see a homegrown talent 2 weeks before it was announced, while others think he was heading elsewhere or send. Yeah, but here's the funny thing about that, Quasi. Soto was not, or the Mets were not even the top contenders until a few hours before he signed. Like, throughout the weekend, it was likely assumed that he was going to head back to the Yankees. And then the Mets came in with their offer with some perks for his family, and that's what sold him on the Mets. It wasn't just about the money. It was about what the Mets could do for his family. Obviously, Soto values his family. Absolutely. That was the deal breaker right there. That was, or not the deal breaker, that's what sold Soto to the Mets. Was that suite. That suite specifically for his family. And honestly, I'd say the Yankees, like, how could you let that get in the way of signing a generational talent like Juan Soto? I get you have standards, but when you have a generational talent like Soto, I think you do everything you can to make sure you don't let him go elsewhere, especially to the crosstown rivals of the New York Mets. So I don't know what got into the Yankees. I really don't understand why it was so hard for them to offer Soto a sweep. But the Mets had no problem with it. If it was the money that you're worried about with losing a suite, I mean, come on. How much money did the Yankees make in Soto jerseys? You're telling me you couldn't do that? or you couldn't do a sweep, even though the guy sells his jersey like crazy. Would have made up for all that money that you lost with giving the suite to Soto and his family. The Mets are going to make up that money just in season tickets. Like, no joke. Season tickets were completely sold out after the Soto signing. It was all sold out. I mean, Steve Cohen could probably make his money back 1 year of Soto just by season tickets, jersey sales. And if he gets Alonso back, I'm sure he's going to make the money in the playoffs as well. Especially if the Mets make another playoff run, much like they did last year. Last year was fun. I will say, though, to Quasi, I actually did go... I've been to Atlanta, and I've actually been to Truist Park. Beautiful stadium. Okay, but they really need to work out the parking situation, because that was crazy how I've had to walk a pretty far distance to be able to get to the ballpark. And we parked quite a ways away. We like, it was crazy how far we parked away and how much walking we had to do. I almost thought we weren't going to get to our seats in time. It's a beautiful, beautiful ballpark. I'll give them that. But my God, they need to have like closer access to it. Like with the Mets, you know, yeah, you can park there. You could go park, but you could also get a subway out to Citi Field, and you don't even have to walk that far from the subway to get to Citi Field. It's literally right there. Honestly, I think Citi Field is much easier to get to from the subway than it is driving. But I guess it just depends on your experience. If you don't want to be in a crowded subway, then I understand why you would want to park. But, you know, in my opinion, parking or subway is much cheaper. That, or you could take the Long Island Railroad. That's the other thing, too. You could take the Long Island Railroad from New York Penn Station. It'll get you there in, like, 10 minutes. Because it only makes, like, 3 stops. All right, well, I appreciate the raid. Thank you again. And by the way, any one of my viewers who aren't following Quasi right now, make sure you go give them a follow. Awesome. Thank you so much for the raid. I'm glad BR was very good for you. And listen, man, I'll make sure to pop into one of your streams when I have a moment, okay? I'm just on a very weird schedule right now because I work overnights. So, you know, I'll definitely try to get into your streams as much as I can whenever you pop up. So, but thank you. Thank you again for the raid. I very much appreciate it. And thank you to everyone who was part of Quasi's raid, who has stuck around for this long. I mean, absolutely incredible of you guys to watch me just play March to October. Just to set the record straight, by the way, guys, I am a Diamond Dynasty streamer, but right now there is nothing in Diamond Dynasty for me to want to grind. So I see no point in me grinding out for it right now. I don't like doing ranked seasons. I'm actually waiting for events. I'm waiting for the Forever event, Strike 3, Sit Down, because when they have the comment pictures, I'm going to take my all Mets lineup, and I'm gonna try and parallel XP them. So, but unfortunately right now that's not what they're doing. And I don't want to do the event right now because it's going to be a bunch of 99 pitchers going up against 99 batters, and I really have no interest in doing that. I'd rather go up against common pitchers. So when that event comes around, I'll head back into Diamond Dynasty, and I'll be grinding to get my Mets lineup up to super factored. But until then, I'm just going to hang out in March to October and try to take as many teams to the World Series as I possibly can. So far, I've already done 5, I believe. 3 National League teams, 2 American League teams. They are the Giants, the Mariners, the Twins, the Pirates, and the Brewers. And obviously right now I'm working on the Toronto Blue Jays. So, but at heart, I'm a Diamond Dynasty guy. I only just got into March to October recently. But I feel like it's a good filler for now until new stuff comes in MLB The Show 24 Diamond Dynasty. Obviously, next Tuesday we're gonna have the Then and Now program. That's gonna be coming out, so I'm excited to do that. But obviously today is Wednesday, so we have to fill in time for now. Oh, thank God. The freaking Blue Jays offense finally decided to come alive. I was afraid they were going to freaking stay asleep, and I was going to have to pitch 9 complete innings, or 9 straight innings without even getting a single run. Yep, there it is. He's completely out of energy. It amazes me that Manoah was down in the minors. Like, why did Manoah end up in the minors as opposed to Francis? I mean, Manoah is younger, or he's 20, not younger, but he's 26. At least in this game he is. Oh, they want me to do the complete game shutout. Got it. And he's definitely going to be better once I'm done with this game, because he's going to get the 3+ boosts. And so in the simulated games, he's going to be like a freaking Cy Young pitcher. Which is good, because I needed to bounce Francis from the rotation. I'm also looking at a lefty bat as well, so I could get rid of Daniel Vogelback. I mean, I can't even believe that he even had a spot on the opening day roster for the Blue Jays. Like, take it from a Mets fan, he was not effective. Okay, I gotta stop screwing around. Come on, Manoa. You got this. I'm willing to bet that if it wasn't a 5-run lead, I think they would have taken me out after the 8th inning, or they would have taken out Manoa after the 8th inning. God, I hope I don't ruin this. Come on. Oh, thank God. All right, complete game shutout for Alek Manoa, which is going to give him a 3+ boost and give us 2 fireballs, which is good because that's going to help us in the simulation games. Look at that. I'm going to be close to earning another reward on the little rewind rewards. Well, hold on, I'm checking out this post from... Oh, okay. More cover shoot photos, all that crud. How are we down against the White Sox? And golly, the freaking Orioles will just not lose. That's what they need to do. They need to put in, like, if you're in a close divisional race, you should be able to play more games against the teams that you're actually competing against for the division. Get out. Yes! Nice, Varsho. What a home run. Dang. Extra inning wins against the Reds. Come on. Then again, we won in extra innings against the White Sox. It's not like they tell you in March to October how your team won previous games. It's not like you can check. You're basically just stuck at whatever the results were. They don't tell you how it was won. They also don't tell you directly who won MVP, Cy Young, who made the All-Star game. Nope, you don't find that out until the end of the season. Or, well, there's a way that you're going to have to figure it out. And I'll show you guys in a second how you find that out. Or I'll show you once I get back to the main screen.
One ball, 2 strikes, the count. Oh, that's off the plate. Hey! 1-1. Hey!
Cheap. Strike 3, sit out. Not a lot of strikeouts for him this game, but honestly, I feel like that's the way baseball is these days. You're not gonna. Obviously, the best pitchers are the ones that are gonna get like double-digit strikeouts. But in terms of a lot of pitchers doing that, it just doesn't seem to happen all that often. Like, it's considered a a good day if you're able to do that. I mean, guys like Jacob deGrom, Spencer Strider, would just throw double-digit strikeouts, and you're like, oh, well, that's a typical day for them. But, you know, if someone like, I don't know, Taijuan Walker, as an example, throws double-digit strikeouts, you're like, what? Just seems like a lot more of the outs are coming via flyouts or groundouts. That seems to be way more common. I don't know, maybe that's the way it's always been, but I felt like there was a time where strikeouts were more common. Like, guys would actually get double digits, and if they got 11, then it was like, that's just another Tuesday or whatever. By the way, for anyone who has followed me, but yet I'm not really looking to see if you guys haven't. If you haven't, you know, I hope that you do consider following me, because these March to October is like, I'm going to be doing more of them. You know, this isn't the only one, as I've made clear. I've already done 5. This is the start of my 6th one, and I'm going to be doing a lot more of them until MLB The Show 25 comes out. So if you haven't done so already, please consider giving me a follow. But for those that followed and you didn't see the notifications, I broadcast, or I stream straight from my console, so I don't have the alerts up through Streamlabs. I would, and I have my own capture card and everything to be able to have those alerts. The only problem is that my internet is really bad, so if I tried to stream from a capture card, it just wouldn't be good. So, you know, anyone who did follow me and I just haven't seen it, I do apologize, but do know that I do appreciate you following, because it means that you like what you've seen so far from what I've been doing in this Toronto Blue Jays March to October. So I just wanted to thank you guys, and again, if you haven't done so already, please be sure to drop me a follow here on Twitch. Generally speaking, I stream from Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. Eastern to 6 p.m. Eastern. That only changes if, like, something happens that I can't stream on one of the days. But for the most part, you can expect me to stream from those times. Monday through Friday, no weekend streams, because on the weekend, that's my opportunity to be able to sleep, catch up on sleep, and get ready for work. So, but yeah, Monday through Friday is usually when I stream. From 3 p.m. Eastern to 6 p.m. Eastern. Of course, if you can't remember that, you can always leave notifications here on Twitch. If you drop me that follow, you can leave on notifications, and that way Twitch sends you an email every time I start the stream. And then that way, if you want to come in at the beginning, you're more than welcome to. If you want to tune in a little bit later, that's all right as well. As long as you guys are here, that's all I can ask for, and that's what I appreciate most. So nice, we got the win there. Thanks to that home run, that 3-run homer from Varsho. not losing to the Chicago White Sox today. We can't really afford to lose anything right now because the Orioles are just going to run away with this division if we give them the opportunity. Speak of the Orioles, we got a key series coming up against them. All right, so it looks like the Nationals are offering Eddie Rosario. That would be good. That's actually not bad, but I already do have a left fielder. And Varsho, I'm not really ready to give up on him quite yet. So the other option here is Joey Gallo. And then the third one is Josh Naylor. Oh, but they want me to give up Elvis? Nah, I can't do that. I hate to pass on Josh Naylor, but he should be a starter anyway. And with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. there's no point in me grabbing him. Like Rosario would actually be perfect if I didn't already have, Schneider there. Joey Gallo, I mean, that's just pure power. And he would be a regular DH, but like who do I give away, or who do I send down for him? Can't do Clement. Don't want to do Kiner Falefa because he can actually play all across the diamond except for first base. So that's a utility guy that I don't want to lose out on. And I don't want to lose Schneider either. I need better options. Sorry, but I have to pass. Ooh, another fast track? Alright. I'm good with the fast track. I need more momentum if I'm going to beat these Orioles. Hopefully I can impress management. Because I have had that happen to me before where I did a player lock mission, a fast track, and I ended up not impressing management, and I got a snowball for that.
Ooh. Snowball, 1 strike.
So it has happened.
Ball. He's out.
It smells like dinner. It's almost ready. I can't wait to have some. Excuse me. Now that at least right there should, as long as if I could get another hit, that should pretty much guarantee that I'll get the fireball and I'll get a boost. Speak of Elvis. Right? This is Elvis? Yeah. The one thing I'm surprised about is that they haven't given me a fast track or some kind of call-up option with Elvis. I'm really surprised by that. Now, of course, I would like to remind, or I'd like to tell anyone who isn't familiar to March to October that I do not necessarily have to win or lose this game in order to get momentum. All right. Yeah, that's been the case with most of the games that I played in March to October, but fast tracks are a different example. They are, as long as you get multiple hits or you have a good pitching outing with your pitcher, as long as you do that, you'll impress management, get that boost, and get that fireball. It doesn't matter if the minor league team wins or loses. It does not matter. All that matters is that the player that you're player locked on, they're the ones that you end up performing well with. There we go. There's my boost and there's my momentum. So we may end up losing this game, but we're still going to get momentum. All right, does Orelvis actually want to, get a base hit? Nope. Not in that. Not on that pitch. Anyway. And not only is he going to line out, the runner on first is going to get doubled off. So, just gave him 2 free outs and didn't even drive in a run. The AI teammates sometimes are just so frustrating. Although I can come through here myself. As long as I don't swing at stupid pitches like I did there. Aguero? Where have I seen that name before? Aguero. I think it was one of my other March to October. Yeah, see? We may have lost the game, but I still get my 1+ boost and the fireball. So I just, for anyone who was new to March to October, and was wondering about that was a case of, unlike the rest of the games that you play in March to October, this one you didn't necessarily have to win. Now, they want me to call up this guy. The only problem is that I'm not giving up on George Springer, and there's no point in me sending down Schneider, especially since Luke can only play the outfield, whereas Schneider can play right field and he can play across the infield. So I'd rather have that. So no thank you. I'll leave him down in the minors. We swept the Baltimore Orioles, which was huge right there. That probably allowed us to take the lead in the American League East. And that is the case. We have a 4-game lead over the Baltimore Orioles. And now we're going to hop into this game where we find ourselves in a bit of a sticky situation. 5-3, top of the 8th, bottom of the 8th, rather. Runner in scoring position at second. A little nerve-wracking, but not something that's completely unachievable, I guess is the word. Of course, it becomes unachievable when you do something like that. Strike 3, sit down. A generous strikeout, I'll be one to admit that. But I'll take it.
That's the ball. 1-1.
Strike 3, sit down.
Up next in the walk-off, the first baseman, 3. Hoskins.
Yeah! Yeah!
Nice. Strike 3, sit down. Thank you, Chad Green. That's another player, another former Yankee that I actually have a lot of respect for, or that I thought would actually end up being really good for you know, I thought he was going to be a great reliever, Chad Green. Kind of surprised that, you know, he's a decent reliever, but he hasn't turned out like I thought he would. Come on, get over his head. Dang it! Of course. Yep, that makes a lot of sense. All right, let's get Meza in here. The reason that he's coming in is that there are a bunch of lefties coming up, and I want a lefty reliever in that case.
0-1.
I always play the matchups. Yes, Jordan Romano should get the save, but if it's more like the more likely a better matchup against or for a lefty reliever, then I'm gonna throw that lefty reliever in. Nice. Do they want slider? Or no, that's a sinker. Strike 3, sit down. Alright, so despite giving up that run in the 8th, we were able to sweep the Brewers and keep our winning streak going. Oh my gosh, you're kidding. That wasn't enough to get to 30,000? Really? Wow. 30,000 XP, that's what I mean. Ooh, we're coming up against the Red Sox right now. Okay, so the Cubs are offering Mike Tauchman. I am not sold on him, honestly. Especially since that power is low. I mean, and he's going to be regressing. So I think I'm going to pass. They want to offer me Joey Gallo again. And they want to offer me Josh Naylor. But this time they actually want to take Nimala. I hope I'm saying that right, but they want to take him. It's like, again, I don't want... See, at least Talkman, he would just be a bench bat. That's all he would be, or the DH. Ironically, somehow Daniel Vogelbach is hot right now. Holy crap, I can't even believe this. Daniel Vogelbach, a 298 average, an OPS of 944. Oh my gosh. He's got 13 home runs, which is about what he hit last year with the Mets. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like, Gallo would be good in terms of a DH. And he could play anywhere in the outfield. It's just, do I want to give up these guys for... Well, not that it matters. If it's only for one season, then Joey Gallo would actually be better. But then what happens to Daniel Vogelbach? He's not going to get sent down. See, I hope in future March to Octobers they let you decide if you want to cut a player or not. And here's the guy that I wanted to bring up from AAA, but the thing is, Manoa's here, and we have Kikuchi. Like, really, there's no reason to bring him up. All right, let's see if we could sweep the Guardians. And our lead, it looks like, has grown to 6.5 games over the Orioles, which is good. By the way, guys, for anyone who's new, I do have a hard out at 6, and it is 5:37 my time right now. So, you know, just wanted to be clear to everyone. I mean, I know I already stated that I only stream from 3 to 6. Yeah, I figured he was gonna get one. Who is this, White?
0-1.
Alright, so our long reliever, I don't know how long he's been in the game, but it doesn't look like he's been in for very long. Let's see. We could check the box score. So, Mitch White has been pitching for 2 innings, or at least when I started the inning with him, an inning and 2/3. And he's already in the yellow. Mitch, you gotta have higher stamina. Like, already in the yellow? What, at 25 pitches? If you're our long reliever, that should be like 3/4 of the way.
Ball inside. Helpful.
Now, those are the kind of calls that cost me that game against the San Diego Padres, where it was like, it should have been a strike, and yet it wasn't. Oh, look at that. It's Josh Naylor, the guy that the Guardians have been trying to offer me. but I keep turning him down because there's no reason for him to be on the team. I mean, for God's sakes, if I want a freaking lefty up, then I might as well just go through the minors. And Kiermaier is going to go ahead and drive one deep, so now the save is out of the ditch. All right, so I'm going to sit down Swanson. I don't believe I need to get him up and warming. And I'll get Trevor Richards up and warming. Usually when I get into a situation like this where I end up out of the save, but yet it's not really like a shutout or then I'll bring in my lowest route. Sorry. If I'm out of the save situation and yet the opposing team has already scored a lot of runs, like the Guardians have scored 4 here, then I'm going to go ahead and warm up my lowest rated reliever and just throw them in so that way I'm not wasting arms. Because there's no point in me bringing in one of my better relievers for a game where there's no save available. You know what I mean? It's like I might as well just save those save those relievers for another simulated game. And speaking of stamina, that's one of the, or energy actually, this is one of the features that I like about March to October. You don't have to worry about energy when it comes to like your fielders. Obviously for your pitchers you got to worry about their stamina, but for your fielders, non-existent. So literally Vladimir Guerrero Jr. could just play 162 games in March to October and you wouldn't know it. Not unless you checked his stats. But he'd be playing as though he's on full day's rest.
Oh, that pitch is out.
So it's nice because as opposed to franchise, you know, you got to switch people around. And the CPU will do that for you.
Oh, that's outside.
They'll put players like you've seen Isaiah Kiner-Falefa playing in center field. For me. And, you know, obviously the CPU did that, or the AI did that, not me. And I can make my own changes, yeah. I can make my own changes, but aside from that, I really don't touch it. And it's nice that I can play through an entire season and not have to worry about energy of my players.
Oh, that's out. Ball two.
There we go. Nice.
You got a full count.
Come on. Strike 3, sit down. And I'll keep Richards in the game. He'll finish out the game. But I will get Jordan Romano up and warming just in case Richards does give up a... Or actually, no, not Romano. You know what? Maybe I'll just stick with Meza. That blessed me. Sorry. That one just kind of got to me. I was like, I can't really stop it. Danny Jansen, the man who ended up playing for 2 teams in the same game. And yeah, he goes ahead and hits a home run there. happen. Yeah, like that was crazy how that ended up happening. I mean, you can understand why it's never really happened before, but still, it's crazy that was even a possibility. And good luck trying to explain it to a non-baseball fan. Like, oh, what's the most crazy thing you've ever seen in the sport? Well, a guy ended up playing for both teams in a single game. They look at you like, what? Still probably one of my favorite, weirdest moments of the 2024 season. Didn't think I'd see that on my bingo card for the 2024 MLB season, but glad I did see it.
The right fielder, number 10, Bravo. Hey! That's foul. Ball in.
Come on, Richards. You got this. I wouldn't have thrown you in if I didn't think you got it. And also, why are the Guardians so desperate to unload Josh Naylor? Like, he's an 83 overall. I hate to keep, like, saying no to him. But it's like, it's so unrealistic. Actually, didn't the Guardians just trade Josh Naylor to the D-backs? Didn't they just do that this offseason? Or am I thinking of someone else? I know the Guardians made some kind of a trade to the D-backs. Let's see. Yeah, they did trade Josh Naylor. Yeah, I can't explain that. I wish I could, but I really can't. All right, there we go. We finally got the rewind rewards. I may have time for one more game. We'll see. Ooh, 7,500 stubs. I'll take that. Just depends on what the moment is. If it's like 6th inning, forget about it. But if it's like 8th or 9th inning, maybe even the 7th, then I would consider it. How do we lose 2 out of 3 to the Boston Red Sox? And we lost 3 out of 4 to the frickin' Yankees. Now, see, Brandon Drury would actually be big if we could pick him up. I mean, that's an immediate upgrade over Cabin Biggio for sure. And in fact, they want Biggio. So that's good. I appreciate the fact that they want Biggio. Just make sure that the prospects they don't want, yeah, they're giving me or they're offering like these or they want these deep potential guys. I figured they would come back with Rosario. But this one is the one that makes the most sense to me. So I'm taking in Brandon Drury, which is good. And actually, this allows me to be able to do the player lock. And a player lock won't take me very long to do. So that'll likely be the last game. Hold on, let me get over here. So I think that's a great pickup right there. Getting Brandon Drury.
Oh.
What the heck? Nice.
Hey. 0-1's the count.
No way. That's gonna get down underneath it. Oh my God! You want to talk about a blown opportunity? That was it right there. Oh my God! That's why I smacked myself so hard. I'm sure that got picked up on the microphone and everything. Oh my God. Yeah, and now I'm paying for it. Or we're paying for it. Oh, so now he wants to hit a home run. Yeah, nice, Drury. Nice. Would have appreciated that when we had runners on. Well, we're not winning this game, unfortunately, so that's probably going to bring our momentum down. In fact, it may even flip it. So at this point, the only thing to hope for is the boost. Excuse me.
Ball.
At least we'll have a better second base. No offense to Biggio, but Drury is much better, clearly. Overall. Is that home run going to be enough for a boost, though? It is. So, thank goodness for that. At least we got that. But that's okay, because that'll probably put him up to, what? An 85 in the simulated games? I'll take that. Still an upgrade over Biggio, for sure. Oh, man, we just... Ugh. I don't know. Do we do this? Should we do this Jimenez one? All right, we'll do this. We'll do this fast track one. and then that'll likely be it. By the way, yes, I don't do any commentary, or I don't have the commentators on during my streams. First of all, I find them annoying. Second of all, it takes away from what I'm saying about the game. So you're not going to hear commentators in my streams. You know, as far as I'm concerned, I'm the only commentator that I need in my streams. Not the ones from the game. Nothing against Jason Sciambi or those guys. I know it's not Matt Vasgersian, but no against those guys. Mark DeRosa, although actually he may not be involved anymore. But yeah, I don't allow commentary or game commentary in my streams. And I doubt very much here that I'm going to get a boost with this guy, unfortunately. Not unless he can get a base hit and drive in a run in his next at-bat. It better be a home run then. That's his only shot.
Ball one, no strike.
And he was on a hit streak, too? Oh, gosh. Now I feel really bad. Hey, at least we get a double, so it's an extra base hit. It's not going to mean much, but at least the effort was there. What up, Mets? Welcome back. Unfortunately, you're joining at a time when I'm about to call it a night. Oh, okay, one more. No, no. No, this is a fast track. Yeah, no boost, and we failed to impress management. Darn it. Sorry, Jimenez, but at least I kept his hitting streak going. Probably going to lose the next game. Nice. And we finished up the first half, too. Love it. Nope. That's where I'm ending it. All right, guys. Thank you to everyone who was part of my stream. Or thank you to everyone who was part of this stream today. I really appreciate it. Even if it was only for a moment. Like I said, I appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to follow me here on Twitch and or subscribe. Either one would make me a happy person. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you liked the video and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to know when I go live, you can follow me on X at TTVNextJGGen24. It's my gamer tag that's on the left side of your screen there. So go give me a follow. I'll usually post whenever I go live. You can also turn on notifications here on Twitch. That way Twitch sends you an email every time I start up a stream. To answer your question, Mets, that is my record, 61 and or 65-31, 4 games ahead of the Orioles. And next time I do the stream tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, we're going to hop into this game, try to get the save against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Before I do go, I do want to say a big thank you to Quasi MS for the raid. I really appreciate it. And I also appreciate everyone who was part of his raid for sticking around and being part of my stream. I really appreciate it. Even though it doesn't seem like, even though that not a lot of people were chatting, it's okay. I appreciate it. Either way, you guys chose to spend your time checking me out, playing out some March to October with the Toronto Blue Jays. And honestly, that's at minimum what I could ask for. So thank you. And if you guys haven't done so already, for my viewers, the ones who came in, who were already part of my stream before Quasi rated me, please go check out Quasi_MS. Really awesome of him to be able to raid me with 20 viewers. I really appreciate it. So please, for my viewers who aren't already following Quasi, please go follow Quasi. Now, hold on a second, guys. Before you leave, I am going to send you over. In fact, I'm going to send you to Michael Pagano. This is a guy who I've known for a long time. He's currently streaming some Diamond Dynasty. I'm not sure if he's streaming ranked seasons or Battle Royale, but it looks like he's streaming. So I'm going to send you over to him. So let's go ahead, start this raid. Appreciate everyone being part of it. Thank you. I hope you guys are in here tomorrow at Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern for more more March to October action. And until then, guys, have a good night.
What's that answer for you, bro?